Hello and welcome to English Pro Tips. In today's lesson, we're going to be looking at 12 idioms to describe people. In particular, we're going to be looking at 6 positive idioms, so idioms that we would use to describe somebody's personality or characteristics in a positive way, and also 6 negative idioms. Now, stick around until the end of this lesson because we're also going to be doing a quiz. Right. Idiom number 1 is quite contentious. There are some people that think it's a positive idiom and other people that think it's a negative idiom. What do you think of this one? A go-getter. Okay, a go-getter is someone who is very ambitious and pursues their goals. They're determined. Now, I personally think this is a positive idiom, but there are people that think it's negative. Okay, let's look at some example sentences. My sister is a real go-getter. She's always been incredibly determined to succeed at everything she does. I've never been much of a go-getter. I prefer taking it easy. I just don't see the point in trying too hard. Okay, go-getter, is it positive? Is it negative? I guess it depends on the context that it's used in. I personally would use this in a positive context to describe somebody that is determined to reach their goals. Okay, idiom number 2 is easygoing. It means someone who is relaxed and not easily upset or worried. My partner is very easygoing, which is good because I can be extremely bossy and difficult to be around. Okay. My manager is very easygoing. As long as I get the work done, she doesn't really care what I do at work. Okay, so everybody wants to have an easygoing manager, someone who's not always breathing down their neck to meet deadlines and work harder. Okay, idiom number 3 is down to earth. So down to earth describes someone who is practical, reasonable, and friendly. Definitely a positive idiom. One thing I like about my boss is that she's very down to earth. She never gives us unreasonable targets or expects us to work overtime. Even after becoming famous, she remained the most down-to-earth person I know. She never let the fame get to her. Okay, have a look at that final sentence and the phrase, get to her. So if something gets to someone, it means it affects them, usually in a negative way. For example, if I said, his comments got to me, it means the things that he said affected me. Maybe it made me upset or angry. Okay, so get to someone. Let's continue looking at the idioms. A people person. Very strange, a people person. But anyway, this is what it means. Someone who enjoys or is especially good at interacting with others. I'm sure many of you know friends or acquaintances that you would describe as a people person. Let's have a look at some example sentences. My best friend is the ultimate people person. She loves making new friends and everyone loves her. Okay. I've never been much of a people person. I much prefer the idea of staying at home with a good book. Okay, so again, these are very useful idioms for all parts of the IELTS speaking test because we're often having to describe people we know or aspects of our own personality and characteristics. Okay, the next idiom is sharp. Now, the full idiom is sharp as a tack, and it means someone who is intelligent and quick to notice things. Now, a tack is this thing that you see in the corner. It's basically a little pin that we use often to put things on the wall. Maybe, for example, notes or pieces of paper to remind you to pay bills or to plan something. Okay, so we don't usually say sharp as a tack, we just use the adjective sharp, and it means someone who is intelligent and quick to notice things. Okay, I love talking to my best friend. She's extremely sharp and we always end up having interesting discussions. Okay, so here we're using sharp to mean really intelligent. We can also use it to highlight that somebody notices things, a bit like this sentence. My grandma may be old, but she's still incredibly sharp. The other day, she could tell that something was wrong as soon as she saw me. Okay, so here sharp is like perceptive. Your grandmother sees you and immediately tells that something is wrong, something is bothering you, or you're upset for some reason. Okay, a man of his word. And we can also say a woman of her word. Okay, this describes someone who does what they say they will do. So a very admirable quality. My father is a man of his word. When he says he'll do something, you can rely on him to do it. She's a woman of her word. If she says she'll be here tomorrow morning, she'll definitely be here tomorrow morning. Okay, so to be a person of their word, a man of his word or a woman of her word. Okay, so we've looked at the 6 positive idioms. It's now time to look at 6 negative idioms. And the first one is wimp. Okay, I think this might be an English word that maybe isn't used so much in America. But certainly in the UK you would hear the word wimp. And it's used to describe someone who is weak and cowardly. Okay, I've always been a total wimp when it comes to heights. I just get so scared. So this person's saying they're a wimp when it comes to heights. And this is a very useful phrase when we want to describe things that make us scared. So I'm a total wimp when it comes to heights, when it comes to exams, when it comes to talking to girls. So I'm a total wimp when it comes to. Now, because wimp is slightly rude, we wouldn't necessarily describe other people as a wimp unless we know them very well. But we certainly can use phrases like this to describe ourselves, especially in phrases like, I'm a total wimp when it comes to. We could also say, I wanted to tell her how I felt, but I was too much of a wimp. Now she'll never know. Okay, so you have a crush on someone, but you don't tell your crush that you like them. You are a wimp. You're too cowardly and too afraid to tell them. Don't be a wimp. Go for it. So this is a kind of a way that you would encourage a friend of yours, and they better be a friend because you wouldn't describe an acquaintance or someone that you don't know so well as a wimp. It could be a little bit rude. Okay, next word is highly strung. Again, a word that you would hear more in British English than American English. It means very nervous and easily upset. Okay, my mother-in-law is extremely highly strung. I have to be very careful about what I say around her. Okay, so if you have a highly strung mother-in-law, it means that they're very sensitive and they can get upset very easily, so you better be careful. I get particularly highly strung when I have exams to prepare for. Okay, so you're nervous and you're sensitive, and if anyone does anything wrong, you get very annoyed and upset easily. So around exam time, maybe you'll get highly strung. Okay, the next word is a chatterbox. So a chatterbox is someone who talks a lot and finds it difficult to keep a secret. Here's an example sentence. I love my best friend, but I know she's a chatterbox, so I have to be very careful about sharing my secrets with her. In primary school, I was a total chatterbox. The teachers wouldn't let me sit next to my friends because I would distract them. That's actually true. When I was in primary school, I was a total chatterbox. And I remember in history class, I always used to like to sit next to my best friend, Mark. But I think on the second or third lesson, the history teacher realized that I was a total chatterbox and my friend was also a chatterbox. And when we were together, we would talk the whole way through history class. So we were separated to different parts of the room. Okay, the next idiom is big-headed. So this describes someone who is arrogant. They're big-headed. He's been so big-headed ever since he got the first prize in the competition. What I like about her is that she's very talented, but not at all big-headed. So that's a lovely quality. When someone's talented, but not arrogant. They're not big-headed. Stop being so big-headed. So if someone's being arrogant and talking about themselves and showing off, you can say, hey, stop being so big-headed. But again, you would want to have a close relationship with the person that you say that to. You don't want to come across as rude. And the next word as well you've got to be careful with, it's cheapskate. So again, could be rude if you use it to describing somebody that you don't know well. It's because it describes someone who is unwilling to spend money. So quite a sensitive topic. His family is loaded. I have no idea why he's such a cheapskate. So loaded as well is an idiomatic phrase that means someone who has a lot of money. So his family is loaded means his family has a lot of money. I have no idea why he's such a cheapskate. Okay, again, this might be a word that we use much more regularly in British English than American English. I didn't want my date to think I was a cheapskate, so I gave the waiter a $30 tip. Okay, so you've gone on a date with a girl and you want to show off that you're wealthy and you don't want her to think you're a cheapskate, so when the waiter brings you the bill, you pay and you also give a very large tip. Okay, the next idiom, pain in the neck. Again, probably in the US, they might say things like pain in the ass. We do say pain in the ass as well, but we also say pain in the neck. So your neck is this part here. And it means someone who is very annoying. Younger siblings can be a pain in the neck when you're trying to concentrate on work. I don't want to be a pain in the neck, but could you drive me to the airport tomorrow morning at 6 a.m? Okay. So you need to go to the airport very early in the morning. You want somebody to give you a lift to the airport. You say, I don't want to be a pain in the neck, but could you drive me to the airport? Okay. All this homework is a real pain in the neck, which means I've got so much homework. It's so annoying how much homework I have. Okay, it's time to test your understanding with a quiz. So we're going to look at our phrases: a go-getter, easygoing, down-to-earth, a people person, sharp, a man of his word, a wimp, highly strung, chatterbox, big-headed, cheapskate, a pain in the neck. So we're going to take all of these words and you need to put the correct word in the sentence. So younger siblings can be when you're trying to concentrate on work. What would you say? Choose from the option above. We would put a pain in the neck. So meaning that younger siblings, so younger brothers or sisters, can be very annoying when you're trying to concentrate on work. Next. He's such, I know he's rich, but he never spends his money on anything. So which of these idioms means someone that has money but doesn't ever spend their money? It's cheapskate. So he's such a cheapskate. Okay, next one. I should have told her how I felt. Why am I such a... Okay. So which one describes someone who is cowardly and afraid to do something? It's a wimp. So why am I such a wimp? Why didn't I tell her how I felt? Okay. Don't tell Sam your secret. He's too much of... By this time tomorrow, everyone will know. Okay, we need an idiom here that means somebody that likes to talk a lot and finds it difficult to share secrets because they love chatting so much. Oops, I might have given it away. The answer is Chatterbox. Okay, next one. He's always been. If he says he'll help you, he'll definitely help you. So someone that is reliable and going to do what they say is a man of his word, or if it's a woman of her word. Next. She's such. She's only been working here for 1 year and she's already being promoted to manager. Okay, so someone that is determined and pushes themselves is a go-getter. Okay, an ambitious person, a go-getter. Next, I've never been much of, I hate getting invited to parties and I don't like meeting new people. So I've never been much of a people person. So remember, people person is someone that loves chatting and being with other people, and generally is good at being with other people. For example, lots of people like someone that is a people person. Okay, next. Please be nice to me around exam time. I can get extremely... Okay, so around exam time you're very nervous and you're easily upset. You are highly strung. So I can get extremely highly strung. Again, this is an idiom that you'd hear much more in British English than American English. Ever since she got the first prize, she's been walking around as if she's better than everyone. Okay, so someone's got the first prize and they're feeling quite arrogant and talking about themselves a lot, and they think that they're better than everybody else around them. You can say that they are being extremely big-headed. Okay, next one. Ever since Sam started meditating, she's become incredibly something. She never seems to get angry or worried. Okay, so they've started meditating and now they don't get angry or worried, so they become incredibly easygoing. Right, next one, we've got two more. She's incredibly something. If you're lying to her, she'll notice immediately. So we need a word that's similar to perceptive here, someone who notices things quickly and is intelligent. We would say that they are sharp. So sharp as attack, we shorten to sharp. She's incredibly sharp. Okay, the last one. He's always been incredibly something, even after becoming famous. Okay, it's down to earth. Right, I hope this has helped you in your preparation and in your general English as well. I hope you're able to use some of these great idioms in your IELTS speaking test. A good idea is to practice using these words in context. That will make sure that you're using them appropriately and it will be easier for you to remember these words. And it's really important that when you have a word like this, you don't just use the word and then move on. It's good that when you use the word and then you elaborate on it in IELTS questions. So for example, I would say something like, oh, my best friend is a total people person. And then I would elaborate on why they're a people person. So that's one of these distinctions between lower level students and higher level students. A lower level student would just say, oh, my best friend is a people person. And a higher level student would say, my best friend is a people person. They're always hanging around with new people, making new friends, and everybody that's ever met them really likes them. Okay, if you want more tips, tricks, and strategies for the IELTS test, then subscribe to English Pro Tips, and there's going to be new lessons out for you soon. Best of luck with your studies, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye then.